Hey there, if you are listening or watching this video, I just want you to know that you are an awesome human being. What's up, everyone? My name is Devin, and I am your host of the Weekly Word. This video is your personal invitation to join me every Wednesday to hear from other healthcare professionals all over the world. We'll be discussing healthcare hot topics, education, resources, advice, and honestly, just great conversation learning about people's journeys into their professions. I cannot wait to see you guys there. As always, stay tuned and stay safe. Our special guest this week is Nia. She's a vet med student at UNC who wants to specialize in cardiology. We've got some great topics to share, including Black representation in vet med and the importance of getting pet insurance. Let's jump right in.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I had this process started a couple of years ago, but I brought it back. So I am so excited to hear from you. So I'll just start with the very first question is, can you introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about you and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Nia. I am from Chicago. I went to undergrad at University of Missouri, or Mizzou, I guess, if you're not from the Midwest. And I studied psychology and Spanish. Yeah, I say Mizzou and people are like, what? And I'm like, oh,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I went there. I studied psychology and Spanish for my major and minor, which is not the typical animal science thing that you hear when people go to vet school, but I started animal science and didn't like it. So then I switched to psychology and really liked it. But as long as you do your prereqs, it doesn't really matter. So graduated there, and then I moved to Charlotte for my 2 gap years, like after undergrad, because I had like prereqs to finish because I changed my major, and then did that, lived there, worked as like a tech for a while, really liked it, and then applied to NC State and got in, and now I'm a second year here.
Wow. Okay. So quite a journey.
Yeah, right.
Spanish and psychology. I would have never guessed.
Yeah, it's a weird combo, but I really like Spanish and I think it's helpful, especially now, like working and stuff. People are always like, oh my God, you speak Spanish? Great. And I'm just like, I do. So I think that's been really helpful.
So you're completely fluent?
I don't like fluent because there's always words I don't know, but I'm like better than most probably, and I can like carry a conversation.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you find that you have to use that a lot, like with what you're currently doing?
I think sometimes. I did like an internship in Texas over the summer, and they needed it a lot more than I do here in North Carolina. But it'll be like the random moments when someone comes in and like just doesn't know English, and I'm like, I can help. So
okay, that's awesome. So it sounds like you kind of answered the third question a little bit, but maybe you can elaborate a little bit more about what got you interested in your field.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to be a vet since I was like in diapers as like a toddler. My mom always so I wish I knew that there was like a moment where I was like, yeah, I want to be a vet, but that didn't happen. I just always wanted to, and so I did like vet camps and stuff growing up, and like actually became interested in like the medicine aspect and not just wanting to be a doctor and help animals. So I did that, and my parents were really into the whole vet med thing, and we're like, oh my gosh, you want to be a vet? We're gonna expose you to all vet things that we can. And so I just continued to want to go into vet med, and then I went to college and had like a whole quarter life crisis, that's what I call it, where I was like, do I really want to be a vet, or do I just want to do that because that's all I've wanted and that's all people expect from me? So that's also partially why I took the gap years, because I was like, maybe I should just go to grad school or do something different. And so I went as a tech, and I also was working in like higher ed because that was my backup plan, or like my other plan if I didn't do vet school. And then I actually applied to grad school and vet school, and so I know it was a thing.
A lot.
So I applied and was like freaking out and was like, I'm not gonna get in, and I don't want to waste another year because I've already taken 2 gap years, so we're gonna apply to both, and if I get into vet school, cool, and if I don't, then I'll go to grad school. And then I got into both and was just like, I'm going to NC State, duh, but like lots of money applying to grad school. So, but it made me feel better at the time. So
yeah. Well, that's really awesome that number one, that your parents were like super supportive and like immersing you in what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
To help like cultivate that. I think that's really, really, really great. And it sounds like, I mean, you had quite a journey, grad school and vet school applying at the same time. Like,
yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
I mean, options. You gotta have right? options.
So, because I had applied one time before, but then I had an issue with one of my prereqs, and so I had to like withdraw. And that whole process of like applying, and I didn't get into 2 of the places I applied, and then withdrew from the other places. So I was just like, oh my god, what if I don't get in? Like, I didn't get into those 2. What if it's just like not meant to be, and I'm not taking another year off? So I applied to both, and then I got into both the vet schools I applied to, and so I was just like, why did I do this? But it made me feel better at the time, I guess. So
that's awesome. When will you finish?
2024.
Okay.
So I'm almost halfway done. We have finals coming up, and it's weird to think that I'm almost done with this. So,
I mean, you put in the work, put in the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel that. Do you know like what kind of animals, or is there like a specialty? You know what you want to do?
Okay. Yeah, I want to go into cardiology. So you can decide like small animal, large animal, general practice, or you could specialize. Just like in human med, you can specialize like neuro or cardio or whatever. It's right. Cardiology. But that means then I have to do an internship after graduation, and then 3 years of a residency program. So I finish in 2024, but like I'm not really going to be done to 28 probably.
Right. Wow, I had no idea that you could specialize like that with animals.
Yeah, right? People always say that to me when I'm like, no, I want to do cardiology. They're like, what?
That right? I'm like
and cats.
I know. What I'm trying to picture, like, what does that even entail? I mean, like, I'm a nurse. I know cardiology with humans, so I'm like, are we doing echoes on?
Yeah,
is it a lot of them? Machine? Is it the same machine?
I've never seen a human machine, so I don't actually know. But it's like a little computer with like a mouse thing, and
it looks like a little...
you take a probe and you go on the heart. They're like laying on their side, and you look at it, and you can see, like, they're fancy. I'll send you a picture next time I go to cardiology.
Please.
Because, they're crazy. Like the machines that they use, and I'm just like, what? But yeah, we do echoes. We do like the surgeries. We do pacemakers. We do all
windows.
Kinds of stents. Yeah, all the things. So like PDA, patent ductus arteriosus, like those kinds of surgeries, we do those with like stents and stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like crazy, kind of fangirling a little bit because I'm just like, I love cardiology as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, this might be my ignorance, so just ignore it.
No, it's fine.
Me if you want to. I'm just like, so animals can go into tamponade? Like,
like yes, they can. Cardiac tamponade, they sure can.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because they have a heart. So I guess
crazy, right?
It's just like you don't think about that. It's just like I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We like treat them for like CHF, like heart failure and stuff when they get in, and we tap their bellies and everything, and do all the same things. I guess you wouldn't tap a human's, would you? I don't know.
I mean, like for like a paracentesis. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Like thoracentesis, paracentesis, like ascites and things like that. We do that with humans, but.
Okay. Yeah, because when dogs like get ascites, we tap them.
Yeah, we tap humans too.
Oh, I didn't know that you did that with people.
Oh yeah, but I think that's
crazy, right?
Mind blown. I learn something new every day. That's why.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of specialties. Yeah. Not as many, I would say, as like human world, because y'all do like ear, nose, eye, nose, throat, EENT, something like that. We don't have that, but it's like neuro, oncology, behavior, nutrition, surgery, pathology, cardiology, internal medicine, like all the big ones.
But they don't have EENT. They don't have that?
We have dentistry, so that's like kind of mouth, but we don't have like, I guess EENT, you would just go to your general practice vet, I would assume.
Interesting. Okay. So moving on to the next question, the educational track. Can you kind of like describe what that process looks like for someone that's wanting to get into your field?
Yeah, so you graduate high school and everything, and then go to college, and so you don't actually have to graduate college in order to apply to vet school. I did, and I think most people do, but as long as you do your prereqs, you don't have to like actually do a degree program. But the prereqs are like physics, organic chemistry, animal nutrition, physiology, anatomy, all of those things. Yeah, girl, organic chemistry tried to take me out twice. So there's that. Yeah, you take all of those, and then if you want to graduate and finish your program, you can. And so then I graduated, and then you can apply to vet school right after you finish those prereqs, and then vet school is 4 years. So depending on the school you go to, they like split up clinical versus didactic years. So my school is a 3-in-1 program, which means we have 3 years of classroom, 1 year of clinics, and then some are like 2 years of classroom, 2 years of clinics.
Okay.
So that kind of depends, but like you're taking nutrition, pharmacology, parasitology, anatomy, pathology. I'm trying to think what classes I'm taking right now, but there's like 9 of them. And so you take, you know, like 20 something credit hours a semester, you take all those classes, and then you finish with your didactic section, and you go into clinics, and you just rotate through the hospital through all the specialties. And then after that you can graduate and practice. So if you don't want to specialize after graduation, then you can just go out, you take your board exam first, your NAVLE, and then you can go out and practice as like a general practicing vet anywhere.
Wow. Sounds like a very long process, stressful process.
A whole lot.
Yeah. And so you said that you're 3-in-1, so you are not in your clinicals yet.
I have the rest of this year, and then next year for didactic, and then after that I'll go to clinics. Like we finish the semester in May, and I think we get 2 weeks off, and then we go right into clinics for the next year.
Is there any hands-on portion of the classroom though, like where you get to
Yeah, we have like surgery skills. So we did our first surgeries last semester, even though we are not in clinics yet. We have like it's called TAU, which is like our farm animal handling class. So every semester we go to our farm and learn how to do exams on pigs, and how to draw blood on horses, and how to do ultrasounds, those kinds of things. And then of course there's like physical exam skills, which we have on exotics and on small animals. So like you're practicing doing exams and drawing blood and placing catheters and doing all those things. So there's a lot of like hands-on clinical stuff mixed in to the curriculum throughout like 3 years, but you're not 24 hours in the clinic talking to clients, working up cases, doing the whole thing by yourself to clinics.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow. It sounds like there's so much involved. Yeah. I
feel like people don't realize, like it's the same thing basically in vet school. Our patients just like bark or whatever.
Right.
So,
they talk it in different ways. They look a little different, but it's
exactly. But it's
I had no idea. That is, hats off to you.
Oh, thanks.
That's so much time. I mean, oh man.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It is crazy. So in your opinion, what is the biggest challenge in your profession?
From like a student standpoint, or from like a once I'm out and I'm doctoring standpoint?
Both.
Okay. From a student standpoint, I would say diversity. Like there's not a lot of diversity in vet med. There's not in medicine, period. But especially vet med, it's like 2% of us are Black. So that was hard for me growing up, and like being as a student here, it's been hard for me just because there's not representation, and you need that. And so I think I know like one Black cardiologist, and I've reached out to them several times, you know what I mean? Just because that's a connection, you know?
Exactly.
But I wish that there was more of that, and it wasn't such a struggle, because I have some friends doing other specialties, and like they don't know anybody. So that's something I wish. As far as like outside actually doctoring, I wish that people did more pet insurance, because I think one of the hardest things about the job is like people aren't gonna pay nearly as much for their animals as I wish that they would sometimes. And so just like knowing I can fix the problem and knowing I can save a patient, but having to euthanize it because the family can't afford it, and that like sucks. So pet insurance, I wish more people did that. And people always are like, you're just hungry for money, you know, you're charging us so much, but it only looks that way because you don't have insurance. Like it's nothing compared to what I would pay for like a human orthopedic surgery, you know? So
right. Okay, well, whenever this goes live, you guys heard this. Pet insurance.
Get your insurance and get it from a puppy.
Insurance, guys, because I actually need to get some pet insurance. I know you're like, I just said
no.
You have it.
Because if I'm being honest, I don't have pet insurance on my dog. I've had her since I was a kid, and so like I didn't even know pet insurance was a thing back then. And then I got to vet school and was like, oh no, it's fine. I can do all her things and I get discounts. But now she's old. And when I tell you I spend racks on this dog on the daily, it's ridiculous. So just get the insurance.
You think? Yes, I wish I could cue in my dog.
Right?
Somewhere. We have almost 15-year-old cockapoo.
Oh.
And baby girl, we have dropped bricks on this dog.
Yep.
Okay. And like what you were saying, like it's so overwhelming, especially when they're older. And he had, I mean, you probably know more about cockapoo, that breed, than I do, but I was told just generally from my vet, they have a lot of like allergy issues.
Sure do.
Yeah, allergy to environment, food, skin, everything. It's like, no. He has to take allergy medicine every day. Otherwise,
is he on Apoquel? Because that's expensive and you need it like every day.
No, our vet just told us, I think, what were we doing? Just like Zyrtec, but like 5 milligrams or whatever because of his size.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets like gastritis. I'm just like,
that's how I feel about mine. She's at the vet right now, or you would see her, but you know, spending money. She doesn't work. She just spends my money. So
exactly.
But I'm gonna pay it.
Maybe toward the end, I'll see if he'll wake up because he's somewhere. He's also, his hearing is kind of going. So even if I whisper, I don't even think he'll come. He might be asleep. We'll see. It might. It's a delayed response, but we might be able to cue him in. Okay. So. Key takeaways: we need more representation in vet med and in medicine, just period. We could literally get on a soapbox about representation. We'll have to bring you back, and we're going to have another separate segment about just issues in healthcare, racial disparities, racial representation. We need to talk about it.
We do.
Now,
people were talking about it so heavy at the beginning of the pandemic, and now it's been like 2 years and people aren't talking about it. But I'm just like, don't forget that this was a thing that we talked about and that we all recognized was important, because it is, you know.
Exactly. And it makes so much of a difference. I like when you walk into a space and you see someone else that looks like you, it's like not that you don't feel comfortable in other spaces where there's other you know, healthcare professionals that know what they're doing. But, you know, just representation in terms of like, you know, either that's someone that you look up to, like, hey, that could be me one day, or, you know, just helping our people move forward and progress, and just know that there's so many different options, so many different things that you can do in life, wherever you are. That's important. So we will definitely need to come back to that.
I agree. Let me know.
For sure. I will. So what would be the favorite thing about what you do? What's your favorite thing?
So many things. I love working with the patients. I love being with the animals. Like, I grew up watching Wild Thornberrys, that Nickelodeon show with the girl who like could speak to animals, and so that was always like the dream, you know, just because like they can't speak for themselves, but they still need people who can care for them. And so I love like being able to figure out like, this dog has this problem and this is how I can fix it. And then the family is like so happy at the end when you fix it. So I guess the short answer would be like the emails and the calls and things that we get from clients when they think their pet is going to die, but we can fix it, and they get to go home and they just like are so thankful, because I love the animals, but like having a person really be like, no, thank you so much because you brought this dog back that I've had since I was a kid, or whatever that connection is. Like, I love that. So
wow. I know you don't take care of humans, but you take care of animals. But I'm just imagining like how much harder it would be to treat or like diagnose when your patients can't really talk. I mean, I'm sure like behaviorally, you know, you can cue into that, but I mean, I feel like that would be so hard.
Girl, it's crazy. And I always wonder, like, like I go to the doctor and I think like, wow, I can really just be like, no, my leg hurts on this side and it hurts when I do this, but also like I jumped off this thing and so that's why my leg hurts, and that's how much easier that is to work up, you know. Whereas for us, like, pets first off hide their injuries a lot and hide their sicknesses a lot, which makes it harder because their families like don't know something's wrong, and then they come to the vet in a stressful environment and they really aren't trying to show what's wrong. So that's really hard. Sometimes you have to like really be paying attention, like he looked like he was a little bit more stressed, or his ears got pinned back when I did this thing, so maybe that was painful, kind of thing. But also way more diagnostics, so we run blood work on like pretty much everything, which I think is a huge difference from human med, because like if a human is vomiting, you can maybe work that up a little bit more without having to run all these tests, whereas like we have to run tests because we don't know why, and we can't ask questions to them, you know. So lots of blood work, lots of x-rays, and we use like more diagnostics, I think, and then we just hope that that's correct and we just change accordingly.
Yes, something that you said really resonated with me about pets hiding their injuries. Is that like a instinctual thing with all animals? Yeah,
so like imagine like horses, for example, like they're prey animals for sure. So like out in the wild, like you can't show that you're limpy because that bigger thing that wants to eat you is going to eat you because it knows you're weak. So they just like don't, which is not helpful when you like are owned by a family who like actually wants to know something is wrong. But I think that that's like a lot of the reason they do that. Same thing with like cats and things, like outdoor cat can't show that it's sick and can't move because something else out there is going to get it, you know. So yeah. I used to think that like they didn't want us to know that something was wrong because they just, I don't know, which also could be a thing, like an emotional connection of like, no, I'm fine. Like I see my dog do that sometimes and I know like something is wrong, but she acts like she's fine because I'll like call her and she'll get all excited and I'm like, girl, like I know that hurts, like just let me fix it. Yeah, our dog, he did that. We don't let him do this now. I mean, we'll see if he'll wake up. He is so bubbly, like you would never know that he's an old man. But he used to like jump off of our bed, just from the bed to the floor and like back. And then all of a sudden we started noticing after like some days that he had like a little bit of a limp. But he was hiding it so well until he just could not hide it anymore. And we were like, a week or so has passed. We were like, okay, did this happen outside when we were playing? We took you on multiple walks. You were doing all this jumping in between. What is going on? And I forgot what the vet said. See, that's bad. That's bad. Okay. You should remember, guys. We thought that he broke his foot or like his wrist. Like they have, wrist, or his ankle. I don't know what that would be called. It was his back, right, like hind leg. It's almost like something was like sprained, I guess. And he had to take anti-inflammatories for like quite some time that messed up his stomach, and it was absolutely terrible for him. But that's what happened. But I was just like, I thought he was never going to walk again. It was so bad. Yeah. And that stinks because like y'all, like we all as people with animals want to like take care of our pets. But when we don't know that they're hurt, then they come to the vet and you're just like, I don't know what happened, but they started acting weird like a couple days ago. But it could have happened anytime because pets do that thing. Okay, so moving on to the next question. One key takeaway for someone that's looking to get into your field. I'm sure you have like dozens, but if you could pick just one. Okay, I'll let you pick two. I'm just like, what would I say? I guess just like not to give up, because vet school is hard. Pre-vet, like getting into vet school is hard. You hear no a million times before you ever hear yes. Like shadowing, getting into vet school often takes multiple times. Like you're gonna hear no a lot, but if you want this, like keep working for it, because eventually you're gonna get the yes, and there's like no better feeling than that. Really good. That would be my thing. Yeah. That's awesome. Don't give up. That applies to everything. But I could just imagine, you know, not being used to hearing no, and then all of a sudden it's like no, and you're just like, okay, well, am I not good enough? Am I not smart enough? And you start to doubt yourself, but it's just a process. You just gotta push through it and keep on. I applied to grad school because I heard no from one vet school and spent racks. So it's okay. but it all works out in the end. And I mean, even now, there's days where I'm just like, I could work at McDonald's and take home the food that's left over at the end of the day and be just happy as I am now. But then I realized, like, no, I really want this, and I just need to stop being dramatic and do my homework. So,
right.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure the next question about an issue in healthcare, if you've already kind of answered this, or if there's something else that you wanted to mention, like one issue in healthcare that's going on right now, and how can we fix it?
Probably the insurance thing again, because I feel like a lot of it goes back to financial, but also I think sometimes people don't realize how involved animals are in like human health too, because I mean, we live with pets, so there's a lot of things that they can have that you want to watch out for that we can also get, you know what I mean? And even I think a lot of that came with COVID because, you know, animals were involved in that too. And so a lot of keeping our animals healthy is important to keep us healthy too. So yeah, you know, we want to take our pets to the vet because they're cute. We want them to be safe, but also like food security, vets have a hand in that, and making sure that like the stuff that we eat is safe, so that way we stay safe too. I think that that's like a big part that people don't always realize.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that for sure. Pet insurance, definitely big one. I don't know if this is just like my vet, and I'm not even gonna put that information out here, but I don't really recall my vet necessarily like advocating for us to just get pet insurance.
Yeah, when I got my dog, I don't think that they did either, and I think it's more of like a thing that people are realizing now, like companies are offering insurance for their pets for employees, and like it's just something that's out there more, because again, I had my dog for years and I never even really had pet insurance on my radar until I started working at a vet, and they were like, oh yeah, we need to start talking to people about insurance. And I think even then, even when I was working as like a person in a vet hospital, I didn't talk about insurance as much as I could until I started really seeing like, this is helping us like be able to do things, because people really will get the insurance, they just don't know about it. And I think a lot of times we just assume like people don't want to hear more about insurance and they don't want to hear about this, they just like want to take their pet and go. But like I wish people made more of an effort in general to like really push the insurance, because I think people just don't know about it. And if they knew and saw like, this will really help me and save me money, that people would do it.
I'm wondering, you know how like similarly like in hospitals and things, how they have like brochures and flyers, and there's like representatives that walk around and, you know, try to push, like, I don't really see that, like even like going to like my vet or like animal hospitals or things. Like I don't see a lot of like advertising or marketing for all the different types of like the
insurance and stuff,
the providers. Like I could not tell you one pet insurance provider. I can't even list one. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's okay. My dog has Nationwide, and so that's like who I have.
Nationwide has pet insurance?
Girl, Nationwide has pet insurance.
Nationwide has pet insurance.
Like, and I don't work for Nationwide. If you don't like them, don't at me. But like that's what my sister's dog that like I take care of has, because my old dog is too old now at this point for me to get insurance for her. But I think that it's not like pushed as much. And I remember when I worked at a vet in Charlotte, we had like little brochures and a thing on the window like, oh, here's care credit, which I think people use for people things too, like you can use it, it's like a medical credit card. So we had that, but and we would give like in our puppy packs brochures for like Trupanion, which is another vet or pet insurance company, and some other ones that exist. And so I know that we did that, but I can't, even now at NC State, I don't spend a whole lot of money or a whole lot of time. I spend plenty of money there. I don't spend that much time in our hospital, so I don't know like what they have or if they give out brochures, but I do wish that like vet hospitals in general, like there was a huge wave to like really push pet insurance. So
this could be the wave. We're gonna tag
it
up.
I'm adding you.
So. Tag it up. You heard everywhere worldwide. Vet animal hospitals. Start advocating for people to get pet insurance.
Yeah, because
it would definitely help. Like I honestly, when we're done with this, I'm going to start looking at some pet insurance. Like I think my dog is at the point where he's going to need to go to the vet. Like I would just like to just go get how we go get checkups, just
Mm-hmm.
you know, but a checkup for a dog without pet insurance is a whole like blood work and imaging, and then it's like $400-500 experience for a checkup, and it's like
exactly. Which feels crazy because my copay is like $15. I go, I get what I need, I keep it pushing, but then when I take my dog, I'm just like, she needs blood work again. Like, I guess she's old, but like another full panel, which again, I get why we need it, because they can't tell us that something's wrong and they're not going to show it, so I need to see the blood work. Like, I get it, but it's a little harder to swallow that bill at the end if you don't have insurance.
Exactly.
So
and medications. My gosh, pet medications are so expensive. Like, my dog is on blood pressure medication, and I'm like, need to get pet insurance. Get pet
insurance. My dog is on one too, and it's like $75 every time I refill it, and it makes me cry a little on the inside. And I'm just like, I can't not give it to her. She's on hydro for her coughing. Hydro, like the opioid that we use. It's an antitussive in dogs. And so she's on that, but because it's an opioid, it's stupid expensive. Oh, like Vicodin? Like a hydrocodone. Do you guys, we use that in people, don't you? We use, I think, Vicodin, which is a cough suppressant, and hydrocodone in humans. It's called I know it by Vicodin. I don't even know hydrocodone is what it is in dogs. So I'm sure it's the same thing because it's antitussive. Even with insurance, it's $75. Oh, no, I don't have insurance, and so I bet if I did, it would cover it. And I'm kicking myself for paying that $75 when I know good and well she could have just had insurance, and I'd be at my deductible and they would just cover it, you know? Yeah. Okay. Get the insurance. Just get the insurance. Outside of pet insurance, do you have like anything else that you would like to share with the viewers that are watching this? Any resources, any educational tips? Do you have your own personal business? Anything that you would like to share at all? Well, I definitely think like some resources that you can use, VIN, it's Veterinary Information Network, I think. They have a lot of resources and stuff for like pre-vet students and even vet students and vets as like, here are some things you could do to help you get in, and here are things to work on debt. And so would definitely suggest them if you're in vet school or pre-vet. Also, Black DVM Network does a lot of things for like people of color in the vet space. Love them. Awesome. Follow them too. Okay. So VIN and Black DVM. Yeah, Black DVM Network and VIN.com. I think it's .com. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's VIN. We will make sure to put those two resources in somewhere in the description. Hopefully they have like Instagram pages. Maybe we can tag them. Yeah, they do. Okay. We'll tag them as well. Yes, we will tag them for sure. But also always let me know if you guys have questions or things. You can at me. Of course. To wrap up, I don't know if you got a chance to read about the patient experience, if you've gotten a chance to wear your scrub caps yet. I know it's a little bit different because dogs can't and tell you like, ooh, I love it or I hate it. But like my coworkers see it and think that, and like our clients are finally back in the building, and so they're like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I get lots of compliments on things. So yes. The biggest thing that I just wanted to know from you guys that wear your scrub caps is like, ultimately, you know, how did it make you feel? It seems like it's not that big of a thing, but you know, this is not my work uniform. My work uniform is black, you know, just to bring some color, some pop, some happiness, because some days are just not it at all. And just knowing that I've got something bright and colorful on my head, and then people comment on it like, wow, that's really wild, or that's really crazy. It can be a conversation starter, but sometimes just a little bit of color to help brighten up the day, you know? And so I just wanted to know from you guys that wear them, you know, what was your experience? If anything at all, unless it's just something you wear on your head, that's totally fine too. No, I have mine. I actually just got it because I don't check my mail, but it has like the hearts on it and the stethoscope, which is because, you know, I want to do cardiology. So I can't wait to wear it when I go to cardiology. So, yes. I'm going to need to get like an EKG print fabric now. For sure. Yeah. Yes. That'll be my next one.
Well, thank you so
problem.
much for meeting with me. I hope I didn't keep you for too long. If you need anything else from me, please let me know. And I'll definitely be reaching out to you again for future conversations.
Yeah, let me know. I would love to. So
yes, I will. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed and maybe even learned something new. Whether this is your first time here or you're a regular, thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you soon. Do you or someone you know want to join the Weekly Word? Send your requests and nominations to info@elaynachanice.com. You can also shop for your new favorite scrub caps and medical accessories on Etsy by searching for us, Elayna Chanice. And finally, if you have not already, hit that like and subscribe button and follow us on all major social media platforms @Elayna Chanice. As always, stay tuned and stay safe. See you next week.